and this is something I can maybe get your guys' opinion on. I want to get him out of the tank. I love that starry blenny, but I want to get him out.
That dotty back I need to get out of the tank.
I don't know.
He just killed my yellow banana wrasse.
That sucks.
Well, you know what? I've got a beautiful sand sifter, and he was always working, and my tank looked great. My tank has looked like garbage, sand-wise, for the last 3 months because the sand sifter's hiding under the rock where he lives. He will not come out. And I think it's because of the blenny, because I bought another sand sifter, put him in after quarantine, and the blenny was just going off on him. Wound up killing him. The guy was only in the tank for maybe 5 minutes. The blenny was stalking him out, and he killed him. So that explains why my other sand sifter's hiding. So I want to get that blenny out of there. I just don't know how to trap him. I can't get him. He's too fast.
What kind of blenny is it?
A starry blenny.
Maybe if you stick some algae, like seaweed, in there, he might go for it, and you can scoop him out.
That's what I'm thinking. I gently put the net up above, like behind, and I got behind him, and then he just zooms away. It's like he knows.
Have you tried to trap Steve?
No, not yet.
I've seen somebody use like they cut a water bottle and they caught a fish.
Yeah?
They scooped it, they cut it in half and stick the drinking part inside the thing, and somehow they tricked it with some food and they scooped it right out of the tank.
Okay. So I'm
going to have to try that myself.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. So do they keep their hand in the tank, and when it goes in there, they just kind of like put it in the sand and scoop them out?
Actually, because of the food, I think it comes up into it, but I think you just have to let it float in there. I don't know how I didn't see how they did it. I just heard what they told me. You know, they just cut the thing in half and somehow scooped them out of the tank.
I'll have to try that. I also heard if you take like a Pepsi bottle or something or whatever, and you leave the bottle intact, and you put some, seaweed or nori or something in the bottle, the blenny will go inside the drinking part of the bottle, but it can't get out. I don't know. I'll have to look into it, trap more.
So a lot of pet stores actually loan traps out, so you might try your reef store.
All right.
See if they loan a trap out. I ended up buying one, and I can catch everything but a tang in it.
Really?
Yeah, my tangs won't go in. My clowns will go in, everything else will go in, but not the tangs.
What do they call it?
Oh, I got the Aquamatic fish trap.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
How does it work?
Well, if you give me a second, I'll just grab it.
All right, good. Yeah, I got to do something. I want to get that guy out of there. I want to put him in the JBJ45, and I want to put with the clowns, and then I want to hopefully then my sand sifter will come out and do his job again.
I want to take this thing and flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, I felt that way about my blenny. I love blenny, but he's a bastard.
Sounds pretty aggressive for a blenny.
Yeah, I know, he is.
Is this like a better mousetrap for fish?
Well, I don't know if it's a better one, but my tangs won't go for it. It's kind of a pain.
Did your blue tang go in there?
No, I couldn't get. None of my tangs will go in there. Just about everything else will.
Oh,
but basically, I mean, it looks like that, right? And I still got my wire ties on there or zip ties from when I was trying to. But basically, it's just a box with the door at an angle, and it's got a string on here, and then you pull it, and if you're at the right angle, that drops down.
Oh.
So it just drops down. Your fish is caught inside, and you've got a remote wire, so you can pull it remotely, right?
Oh, so how long is that? It's like the fishing line. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit on my couch with it.
That's cool. You're just sitting there watching. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you feed your fish, so it's got a little hole.
That would work for me.
And then it also comes with this little thing that can go in here to kind of put meaty foods in to kind of help draw them in, right?
That's a good idea.
So then you can just have your line set up on here, have it remote, and you're in.
That thing has a remote control?
Well, it's got a line on it, right? So you can be sitting away from the tank. So you got your fishing line, right? You can be away from the tank, and then you can just pull it and try to run down.
Okay.
So because when you're right up next to the tank, the fish usually think something's up.
Hopefully you don't chop him in half. Of course, if it's a bastard fish, who cares? Well, I shouldn't say that.
But, there's the box. You can kind of see what
I literally took every rock out of this thing, and I couldn't catch the SOB.
I was thinking about.
I mean, I had water and rocks all over the floor. Wife wanted to kill me, and I still couldn't catch him.
I was thinking about doing that this weekend. Just putting like a towel or two out in front of the tank and take the rocks out and place them down in there on the floor quickly in the order that they're, so I could aquascape it the same. I might not. I think maybe I'll try a trap. How much was that trap, Scott?
That trap was about $50.
Hey.
But like I said, a lot of stores will just lend you one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, when I bought this one, they said that they'd lend me one if I didn't want to buy it, but I just bought it anyways.
Huh.
And how many fish have you caught with that thing?
I've caught a lot of fish, just never the ones I want. I don't recommend this thing for tangs. I have never had luck getting tangs in there. I've seen videos on YouTube of people getting their tangs to go in, but I can't do it. I'll starve those guys and they won't go in.
Huh.
The tangs apparently are just too smart. Yeah, they're not stupid.
You know that blenny, before I tried to catch it, I would stick my hand in to hand feed the fish their nori as I do, and that bastard would zoom up and nip my hand. It wouldn't hurt, but he was letting me know who was boss of the tank. But then I tried one time to get him with the net, and he learned really fast. Now I can put my hand in the tank anytime to feed any fish. He will not come out. It took that
you
one.
taught him well.
I taught him well. That one time with the net, he knew he was going to be caught. Now he won't come near me. So I made it more difficult for myself. I'll have to get a trap or something. I gotta get him. I want to get him out. He should be fine with the clownfish. The Picassos.
Maybe you should put a lionfish in there and let him eat them.
Yeah, that'll teach them.
And they're pretty slow. They're probably easy to catch.
Who's slow?
Lionfish.
Oh yeah, right. I thought you were saying the starry blenny. This guy's
no. I'm saying after the lionfish eats the blenny, then the lionfish will be easy to catch.
Oh yeah.
Better wear wire mesh gloves.
Yeah, no kidding. This guy's something else. Speaking of that, I keep forgetting that I never wear gloves, and I keep forgetting that the aquarium can be dangerous. Mine doesn't have many things in it, but well, of course, bristleworms, but the foxface, the venomous spikes. We were talking about that earlier, and I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's such a gentle guy, but I keep forgetting about that, and I just, whatever.
Does he ever get near you when you're doing anything, work in the tank?
No, he'll usually hide behind the rock, and he turns to that dark brown color from his bright yellow to dark brown for the camouflage when he's scared. Looks like a totally different fish, and he just hides out back there. But I keep forgetting that it could be dangerous. The newest thing, my pair of clowns in the 125, I still have to film this. Every day when I feed him, the male comes up and he sticks his head out of the water, and he waits, because I feed them out of the ceramic white little dish, because I soak their food first, and I move the dish, and he bobs his head. He stays out of the water, and he follows. He lets me pet him. I can touch his face. I touch him, he doesn't zoom off. It's the weirdest thing. He never moves. Even my kids, they'll put their finger in there, and they'll just touch and feel his face. He doesn't care. He wants to eat. Coolest thing ever. It's awesome.
That is cool.
I gotta film that. I gotta film that for you guys.
This is the Picasso clownfish?
No, these are the originals. The Ocellaris that I've got, the pair in my 125. the male, as soon as I approach the tank and I lift that lid, his little head comes out of the water, and he waits for the food. And if I move the food, he'll swim head out of water, following the food, following my finger. Really weird, very trusting. He's a great little guy.
I was telling Scott before you got on, I had two anemones, and when I was trying to get the other one out, the maroon took a nip at my finger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He didn't hurt me, but he tried to get at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, CJ said he got rid of 2 of his clowns because he couldn't stick his hand in the tank without getting bit.
Really?
Yeah.
My first pair of clowns were very territorial. I did not have an anemone. I had just had one zoanthid, but they did not like my hand in the tank at all. And they don't hurt. They just kind of freaked me out. Yeah, I mean, did he say that they tried to nip him? I've never been...
Oh, yeah, he said he couldn't put his hand in the tank at all. It was in one of his videos. He put his hand in the tank and they'd bite him. He ended up getting different clowns because of it.
Wow. Well, all fish are different breeds,
Yep.
different personalities. But then further, it depends on the fish, because, like I said, my first pair were highly territorial. It was crazy. These guys, they don't care. They could care less.
Now, they say that maroons are the most territorial.
Oh, yeah?
Now, you're breaking a rule there, aren't you, Ed?
I am breaking the rule because I got the peculiar and the maroon clown.
That's awesome.
That's why I called Ed's Tank Extreme.
How did you do that?
Well, what happened was I've been trying. That's the original clownfish. I've had this clownfish for 6 years now. He's pretty big. He's probably a woman now. Who knows? And I put like 6 different males in there, and they'd all end up dying. So I figured, well, I looked at this maroon clown. I thought it was really pretty, and I figured I'd try it. And lo and behold, they're getting along. When I first put them in, the peculiar didn't like them, but now they're getting along. And he stays in the anemone anyway.
Who does?
The maroon. Can you see him?
Yeah.
As you see, they're not fighting each other, so.
Those maroons are gorgeous. I almost, the 4 Picassos that I have, they came from the same tank, and I bought them at the same time. And they're tank raised, so they're not, from the ocean. They came from a local breeder, so I've got a lot of good luck on my side, so I think, and I'm sure I do. But I'd like to maybe put 2 more in, but maybe that might be a bad idea. I'm not going to, but that's why I made a point to save some money and do all 4 Picassos at once. I'd like to add 2 more, but I don't know, maybe it's too late. It's only been 2 weeks, but still, they probably see it as their tank. Again, it comes down to the fish, but you introduced them at different times, Ed, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I might lose 1 or 2 of them.
Well, he's been in the tank for almost a year now together, so haven't had any issues. You get lucky sometimes.
How much time between did you wait before introducing? Because those other ones had to run to the tank for a while, right? Was it months?
Yeah. Yeah, some of these fish I've had for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, see?
That peculiar I've had for 6 years, because that's where I started with a 20-gallon saltwater tank. And now they have a little issue now. It's kind of funny that we're talking about
right
it.
when we talk about it.
But overall, they get along pretty well. I mean, I haven't had any major issues with them. I mean, he hasn't beaten the crap out of him or anything, so. And he's a lot bigger fish, as you can see.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I would love to get a lightning maroon, but there's just no way for me to make that happen. But I see you get away with it. I've seen
You
other
can
people
try
do
it.
it too, but
Try it.
well, my problem is once a fish goes in, I can't get him out.
Well, that's the same problem I have. I mean, I got probably at least 100 pounds of rock in this thing.
Maybe my wife just got her 24-gallon. Maybe I need to convince her.
Hey, honey, you need a 200-gallon.
Well, no, I think a 24-gallon is perfect for a couple of lightning maroon clowns.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
I don't think I
yeah.
can afford 2 lightning maroons, but those are some expensive fish.
Well, then Picassos, how much do they run?
45 a piece.
Yeah.
I just saw long fins. You ever see them?
Yeah.
$3.50 a piece.
What? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
come
lightning.
on. Not lightning, just a regular. They're
No, the lightning
regular
maroons.
clownfish.
I don't
The
even
lightning-
like. I don't like them that much. But even if I absolutely love them, that's just crazy money.
Well, before we were talking about the koi tang, and that's $3,000.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, $3,000 for a koi tang.
Yeah, no.
Have you seen those, Steve?
No.
They're the multicolored Scopus tangs. I think they're a hybrid.
Maybe I've seen them. That's worse than the gem tank. You know.
Yeah, they're right up there with them. They're pricey.
I draw the line on that. Even if someone gave it to me for free, I wouldn't do it because, God forbid, your water parameters are off or something happens. You kill them.
Well, I was telling him that he's just the store set up a 400-gallon fish tank. He had all these nice fish. He had purple tang in there. He had a giant nasa with streamers, a couple of different real expensive fish, and he lost them all when he put this Custer's tank fish in there, and everybody got marine velvet. So,
that's what I'm talking about. Oh, it looks like CJ's on. Now we just got an instant 320 new viewers right now. Look at that.
Stop it, man. Stop it. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
How's Aaron's family?
Okay.
How's it going, CJ?
It's going all right. I'm talking on a headset that went through my washing machine, so I'm making sure you can hear me all right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's good to hear you.
Okay. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Man, what's going on?
So I heard you joined Aaron's family.
Oh yeah,
Aaron?
yeah.
How's that working for you?
Well, I was in the family undercover for some years, so I guess I just shared it with everyone else. But yeah, I've been following Aaron since me and him both had like 50 subscribers. So
Nice.
he just kind of took off way before my channel even got looked at. So
What does it mean?
But the funny thing is, go ahead.
What does it mean? I saw that somewhere, but what does it mean you're in the family now?
It's just a way he words it with introducing channels to everyone else. So it's kind of like a shout out with a video. We need to get him on here. That's what needs to happen.
Well, you've seen his wife, haven't you, Steve?
No.
His wife is the big tank.
Oh yeah. And Aaron, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. That's a little disturbing. I don't know why, but it kind of is for some reason. Every time he says it, it's like, ugh.
Got the ex-wife here.
Well, he introduced side chicks here recently, so the side chicks got a laugh out of it. But one important message I got to bring to you guys from the guys in the comments: if you all can see them, they're asking all kinds of questions. Those guys are wanting to see if you all can reply or if we can answer
we
some
haven't.
of the questions.
Sorry, we haven't been looking at them. That is something I should do.
Yeah. Let's pull some of those up.
Those guys have been on there chatting. I was on there chatting with them. I was like, I'm gonna try to get on. I'm gonna pass.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
So.
Yeah. So basically, when we do our Google Hangouts, it doesn't put the comments up. So for us to see the comments, we have to watch YouTube, but that's a bit of a delay, so it's a little weird to watch.
Is that what people talking in the comments when we bring them?
Let me see the comments.
Here, bro.
There you go. Well, I'll leave it to you guys with computer screens. It's impossible for me to switch between YouTube and this Hangouts on my phone. So shout out to the guys in the comments. Message has been delivered. There you go. Well, I'll leave it to you guys with computer screens. It's impossible for me to switch between YouTube and this.
In the comments, somebody just put, it's Brian Beckman says, don't buy marine pure blocks. They have recently had defects with the aluminum, and that causes the tanks to crash. It's Brian Beckman says, don't buy marine pure blocks. They have recently had defects with aluminum, that causes the tanks to crash. Who's got the reverb going? It's killing me. Can you guys hear that
I think
too?
I'm dragging down the feed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's my
I
connection.
shut the volume
You
off
all
on
were
mine,
smooth
so it's
before I
not
joined,
me.
right?
You know what that is? That's those 300 extra viewers we got as soon as CJ jumped in. It's taking the load down.
But with those marine pure blocks, what I was seeing, what's the Australian guy's name? He's got the Majestics aquariums in Australia. Anyways, he said that there's a fake marine pure block going around that's kind of exactly the same packaging, but it's not made to marine pure standards, and that's the stuff with the aluminum that's kind of crashed and everything, is what I'm hearing.
It's probably coming from China, huh?
Yeah, it's a fake imitation one that's getting sold on the internet, and people are buying it thinking it's marine pure at a lower price, and they're getting junk.
Well, you see them, they're poisoning the pet food, too, so maybe that's what they're doing with that, too. They want to kill the fish, too.
Well, I'm sure they don't put the time and effort into it that Marine Pure did to get a high-quality product. They just wanted something that kind of looked like it. But, yeah, he's got a few videos on that. I would highly check it out. His stuff is pretty cool on that.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to do a reboot on this phone. I think I'm dragging you all down. Make sure I clear all my apps.
No, you're fine, man. I'm just going through the comments. Hey, everyone who's watching, I apologize that you guys, my comments feed wasn't working too well, but I'm in there now and I'm seeing it. Matt Leary asks, have any of you guys ever had a white tail bristle-tooth tang? I never have. I've seen them and they're pretty cool. I don't know anything about them, really.
What's the other one?
You know, common. They're, you know,
What is it?
eat the nori, just like all the other tangs, vegetarians. They're very pretty. And I didn't get one. The store that I went to about a year or so ago, they did have one, and I was going to get it, but I didn't because I already had a few tangs, a coal tang, a fowlery tang, and a yellow tang, and I thought I'd be pressing my luck, so I did not get it. However, now I've got like a tank. The 125 gallon has like 6 tangs in it. So I wish I would have got that guy because he was really cool looking, but I didn't.
Hey, Steve, have you ever seen that American Reefer channel?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I have.
That guy has a 120-gallon tank, and he's got like 15 tangs in it.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
How does he do that?
I don't know. I think he just got lucky, just like me. And I do know the channel you're talking about now because after hearing about that and seeing a couple of the videos, I was inspired to actually do that same thing, and that's why I did that. Now, I really technically shouldn't be able to do what I did, and then to make matters worse, I threw a Naxo tang in there and then a sailfin tang, which was a dumb move. But you know what? They all get along. I thought it was going to be sudden death. Even Scott was saying, oh, I can't wait to see what happens between the yellow tang and the sailfin tang. Nothing. Everyone's. I got lucky.
What? I put an orange shoulder in here for Christmas. I got one for Christmas. And the hippo tang and the fox face went berserk on him.
Yeah?
I had to take him out of the tank because they would not accept him. The fox face literally almost killed him.
Oh, wow.
So I had, luckily the fish store took him back, gave me credit, but it was a nightmare. So I won't do that again.
Over at American Reef channel, he has a video on there on kind of how he keeps his tangs, so I highly recommend watching that. It's a pretty good video.
Yeah, I thought of you when I saw that, Steve, because I know you like tangs.
Yeah, I got lucky, and I have too many fish in the tank, to be honest. But I just keep up on the maintenance, and they're doing great.
Well, if you think you have so many fish, look, I got a 90, and I got, what, 15 fish in here?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But they're getting along great. I wish I had the longer tank, like an 8-foot tank would be awesome.
Why don't you just get to 210?
Yeah, maybe I will.
I was talking to Scott before. I was really eyeballing the 220. I saw one in the store.
If ever I get some money, I may do it, but I'm not sure. I may do it. That'll have to go in the basement, though. That'll have to.
I like these.
Well, see, I don't have a basement. I'm in Florida, so.
So, are you on a concrete slab?
Yeah, I'm all concrete.
Ah, you're fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah, those of us with basements, we have to worry about the water falling in.
Yeah, to make sure that you got enough to hold them up with the beams and stuff.
Exactly.
Let's see. So Mike Lemming, he asked, Ed, where are you? He was born in Clearwater.
I'm in Bonita Springs, Florida.
All right. And then Mike, of course, he gives his support for the Chicago Blackhawks. That's awesome. Another Hawks fan. Actually,
now, are you a Cubs or a White Sox fan?
no, I'm not doing sports unless it's the Hawks. But I'd have to say, baseball, I don't really care. If I had to say anything, I'd probably say, again, I don't watch it, probably just the Cubs, just because my family's mostly Cubs. But whatever, I don't know anyone on the team. So it's just what.
How about the Bears?
The Bears. Not since '86.
Hey, Steve, how old are you, Steve?
44.
Okay, I just turned 46 this week.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Nice.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Darren.
Darren, what's up, man?
Northwest Marine.
Nice to see you, Darren.
You too. I just got home.
Nice. How's the tank?
Good, good. Yeah, everything's going pretty well, and I need to get some more money before I start working.
I'd have to hit the lottery to have all that fish tanks, buddy.
Oh, man.
I'm kind of tapped out right now. I've got my GSP that's growing, but other than that, I'm going to have to wait for a little bit. So at least I have all my equipment. So.
I think I'd still be paying for your last fish buy. Jeez.
Well, I do.
That'd be my year's salary.
Yeah, I used my income tax and I got that, so it definitely helped.
Yeah, that was a hell of a buy.
Yeah.
When are you going to do an update on your fish tanks?
Probably pretty soon. I've got a couple other fish that I've purchased that are in the quarantine right now. I don't want to tell Steve because he'll probably scream.
What?
I picked up a naso tang with streamers.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. So I got a greenbird wrasse and I picked up a large purple tang.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. So, but they're in a 75 right now.
I assume the green bird wrasse is for the fowler?
Oh yeah, that thing.
The research.
That thing is a glutton. It's feeding him scallops and of course all the meaty foods out there. But yeah, he'll take clams on the half shell and just destroy them.
They are such a cool fish, though.
Yeah, I like them. When I get my reef tank going, I definitely want to get some wrasse in there, different type, maybe some radiant wrasse, some Christmas, some different types of wrasses in there. I've got the Australian, I've got the DeJardini sailfin right now, and the
Nice.
yellow coli, and I've got the powder brown in there, and that's it. I'm sorry, I've got two of the gold Midas blendings. Australian, I've got the DeJardini sailfin right now, and the yellow coli, and I've got the powder brown in there, and that's it. I'm sorry, I've got two of the gold Midas blendings. Australian right now, and I have the color brown in there, and that's it. I've got two with a gold minus. Why is there an echo?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's causing that.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm back in the room. I'm dragging you guys down again.
Oh, what's up, man?
CJ's trying to play YouTube and watch in the show at the same time.
What's going on, CJ?
Nothing much, man. Just playing with the limitations of a phone. I'm doing good. I'm just listening to the good news you dropping on us with all the tanks. So,
oh man,
hey, I'll take it.
I'm kind of.
I haven't had much good news here lately, so I just been hanging in there.
What's going on with the? I'm listening. I'm watching the comment feed with everyone watching. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. A lot of cool things going on in the comments. Mike Lemming just got a really cool 75-gallon tank.
nice.
They're very cheap with a standoff Craigslist. So I was just replying to him. So CJ, what you said bad? I saw one of your videos. You said bad news with the tank, and what's going on with it now?
Oh man, well I'm working on the update. I'm gonna cover it all, but I'll give you guys the quick rundown right now. The damn Midnight Angel I added like 2 weeks ago. That Dwarf angelfish went absolutely nuts and start eating every fucking thing in my tank. Started with my Duncan, and then moved on to my Zoanthus. Actually, ate full polyps of Zoanthus.
Man.
Then he worked his way around to my pride and joys, my Euphilius, and started eating them around the base where the flesh meets the skeleton. And then you know what happens whenever you get damage to the base.
Yep.
Fucking brown jelly broke out of my tank, so I've lost all kinds of heads. My gold torch, my lemon lime torch.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely. I've slowed it down for the most part. I think I've limited my losses, but I'm just making sure before I put the video out because I think I found a way to fix it and cure it.
Is it?
Did you get the son of a bitch out of the tank or what?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I got his ass. He would have been boiled if he wasn't worth credit. And it was Derby in Louisville, so the pet stores were closed. So I had to look at him in his jail cell for like 2 days, just wanting to do mean things to him. But I had to make sure he was in good health before I traded him in.
You're, is that the Dwarf Angel that's like a reef caution, CJ?
Yeah, it is a Dwarf Angel.
You know, man, I know once I start getting my corals, anything. I mean, I know it's kind of trial and error with anything, but I'm really gonna watch it when I get fish that are with on a caution with reef tanks. I'm gonna be really careful about that. And of course, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Some fish, they won't mess with it, you know, anything. It's just like putting they say don't put just one Dwarf Angel in at a time. If you've got one in there, you want to put a couple or 3 of them in there. But obviously your tank's not that big, but that kind of
right.
crazy. That,
well, the Flame Angel's still in there. He's been in there for like 7 months, and he's been fine. Luckily, he didn't pick up any bad habits because, believe it or not, man, I don't know if anyone realizes it, but fish learn from each other. They can. Yeah. So
they're smart.
I had to get him out of
creatures.
there before he taught my Flame Angel to start eating shit too, because I wanted to keep him. So, but
that Flame Angel is okay in the 45 because I know, you know, they're in like 75 gallons minimum. But how is he?
Yeah, I mean, that's recommended, but honestly, he's still a little guy. He's only like 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches.
They're not going to get.
He's not a.
Yeah,
he's not a full-grown. I made sure I didn't put any fish in my tank that maxed out bigger than 4.5 or 5 inches, just for that reason.
That Flame Angel won't get bigger than 4 inches.
Yeah.
I've got one in my 300, and you know, of course, he's fine. But I could have put one in my 180. But I had my Flame Angel in QT in my 55 for about 3 weeks, and he was fine.
Oh yeah. So we'll see, man. I think you're right, man. I think I'll be okay. At least that was the plan.
What fish was that, CJ?
What's that?
What fish went nuts?
A midnight angel.
Right.
Midnight. It's
That's that
all
all black
black. It's a
one.
jet. It's the all black one, and honestly, I'll never get another one of those again. You know, I just wanted to. I'd seen him in the store. I was like, man, look at that fish. I never had one of those before. Let me try it. And yeah, he was in the tank a total of 3 days before I had to catch and get him out of there because every day he was causing more chaos. So, you know, I don't know. I've had multiple angels in here that never touched a coral. I've had multiple flame angels that never touched a coral, and this one angel is the one that just went crazy. So,
Did he
I guess it's a
completely
crapshoot.
destroy all your corals?
He kicked off that brown jelly that did the most damage, but he ate a few polyps of my zoanthus and my Duncan. He messed up a few heads on my Duncan. He was aggressively eating it, not like pecking, but like really biting and twisting to try to shit off of it. So.
Did you catch him red-handed?
Oh yeah. I got some footage. I got some footage of him eating my zoanthus. I couldn't catch him on tape eating my Duncan. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna share that with you guys in my next video. This next video should be entertaining. I got a lot of shit to cover.
Well, what's kind of
Something's going after my large frog spawn that I just bought, and I don't know what it is. Looks like part of the coral is missing, and it looks like it's white, like down to the skeleton. I don't know what the hell's causing that. If it's the...
You know what it probably is? It's probably your fox face.
You think
The
so?
rabbit fish. Yes. Some of those, I've heard some of those rabbit fish, they can be really docile in reef tanks, and all of a sudden, boom, they can, because they're an herbivore, but
Right.
they,
I don't know if it was a starry blenny or what it is, but you think you heard that it was the fox face?
most likely it was probably you have a what kind do you have, a bicolor, or what kind of fox face do you have?
It's not the it's just the standard, just the yellow.
Oh, okay. So you probably got the fox face low. I've got a magnificent fox face, and of course
I used to have the magnificent.
I've got the magnificent, and of course he's in my Fowler, but I've just heard from reading and from other people that they either have really good luck with them in a reef tank, or sometimes they can just go apeshit and they can just start eating your coral.
I've got a fox face in my tank, and I've never had them eat any of my corals.
Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it could have, like you said, Steve, it could have been your blenny, but most likely it might be your fox face. I don't know.
well,
I'll have to watch. I don't know. It was fine up until 2 days ago. I gotta figure it out.
they can die back, so I would check your water quality and everything else and make sure that it's not dying back and that it is being eaten. That is a possibility.
I mean, it's
Well,
not.
I've seen corals actually attack each other
Yeah, they will do
with
that.
their tentacles.
2/3 of the coral looks great, but the other third looks very and it's just dying off. It looks like it's just down to the skeleton in one section. So I don't know.
Is there a lot of water flow in that space, Steve?
It's indirect flow, and it's doing really well. It was fine for the first couple months I had it. So yeah, there's flow. It's flowing nicely how it should. It's not getting blasted. It's in the middle of the tank on the sand, and it's getting hit from both MP40s on either end, indirectly off the glass. So it's a subtle flow, so it's not getting torn apart by any means.
Now, since I'm a newbie and I only have a GSP out there, with you guys that have your reef tanks, do you notice like your torch corals, will they go after other corals?
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they will.
Yes, they will. Yes, without a doubt.
Okay.
I'll try to give you guys. I'm gonna try to give you guys a look at some of the heads I lost real quick. I don't know if I can get it to flip around. Let me see if I can flip this camera around. Here we go. Okay.
My bubble coral and my
See that?
frog spawns are battling each other right now. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. But, yeah, CJ's got some pretty good video of his.
Sorry, CJ, about your fish going rogue on you, man.
Yeah, that's a couple of heads of the torch, and I can't get good footage of the Zelanthus, but yeah, that's it. But yep, happy days.
Yeah. But I asked about
All
the
right.
water flow with your Philia, Steve, because on my gold hammer, when I had it under too much water flow, it started recessing back a little bit, and that stopped when I got it under lower water flow. So, something to think about.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's recessing. It looks like it's like
Been eaten.
been eaten, and it just looks like.
Now, when fish attack, when they eat corals, do they usually eat them from the base, or they just eat whatever they can grab?
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
That's what it looks like to me. It looks like whatever they can grab. It looks like it's been eaten down, like the base is missing in parts. Kind of like.
You have any emerald crabs?
No, no crabs, no shrimp, no cleanup crew really.
Because they can ravage a tank, man. Those emeralds, they destroyed my zoanthids.
Ed, how big of a tank do you have right there?
It's a 90-gallon.
Okay. What do you have in there? I can see a little bit, but
Let me show you.
sure.
Guys in the comments really quick while you guys are doing it. Brian said, "Don't worry, corals can bleach. Could be the lighting, especially anything at any time." You know, who knows? I haven't seen anything. I'll just continue to take care of it. It just.
Well, Steve, the good thing is you got that gorgeous JBJ that you can easily just slide that frog spawn over to, and it'll be perfectly fine. So
That's what I'm thinking. You know,
That's actually a good idea.
I was thinking about
Why
doing
not?
it this weekend because it's such a gorgeous coral. I don't want to put that in the smaller tank. Not that the 45 is small, but I'd like to show it off in the larger tank. But maybe I should move it over.
nah, I'll tell you, man. If you put that thing in the smaller tank, it'll make the coral look even bigger. It'll help fill out the tank a lot faster too. So hey,
Yeah, maybe I'll do that
I
tomorrow.
think it'll be good. Well, as long as your parameters are good. I don't know if you're done cycling or not with the little tank or not.
Yeah, I'm done cycling. I hope that the cheap light that I've got in the JBJ 45 is enough to keep that coral going, but it should be. Maybe I'll move it tomorrow.
Videos. Yeah.
Now, do all you guys have LEDs?
I've got these, yeah.
Yep.
LED T5s.
I'm running the light that's close to the Radion. It's called an Evergrow IT 2081, and I had Cyber Aquarius help me with the settings because I got the worst outbreak of brown algae. It just exploded. I know Scott's laughing, but I had to.
It just makes sense. You go from very little light to lots of light, and the algae.
Yeah, I got some API algicide, and I hit it a couple, 3 times, and it knocked it down. And I've got the 3 tangs in there, and they're doing a pretty good job on it too.
Nice.
Hey,
What do you think I got on this tank? Can you tell what I got on this tank by looking at it?
No. Let's see.
A lot of the guys, by the way, in the comments are saying they've got LEDs. That seems. Mike Lemming has 165 watt LED.
Hey, if you guys haven't checked it out, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got a Marine Pro Orbit in my. I've got 2 4-footers on my Fowler, and that's more than adequate for the Fowler there. And I've got some different actinics on there, magenta. I've got blue in there. I just put it on the default setting, but I really like those lights from my Fowler. But on my reef tank there, these lights. I got a pretty decent deal. I paid like $400 each for them. They normally run about close to 5. So
that's what I've got. The same as you. I've got the 4-foot, just one Orbit Marine LED.
Yeah, well, I have 2 4-footers on there, but my reef tank, I've got the lights are about 32 inches. They're I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but they're called the Evergrow IT 2081s. I got them from my LFS here. I didn't have the money for like I wanted the AP700, this, but the Kessels, I couldn't afford them or the Radion. I just, after all the money I spent, I was pretty much cash strapped. That's why I don't have anything in my tank right now.
Have you had a chance to see every one of those lights in person? When I went to my LFS, seeing them in person really puts things in perspective.
Oh yeah. I went there and looked at them first, and I wanted the Kessels, but I just couldn't afford them. They're over $800. That would have cost me $1,600 just for 2 of them, and I just couldn't afford it.
Well,
I can't understand why those things are so damn expensive. It just that's cost more than all my tank.
I think isn't it the par rating on those things, or is that why they're so expensive?
The Kessels are cool because Kessel makes a completely different light bulb. So if they do a lens with the all the light bulbs inside that little tiny lens thing, right? So they're putting 2 of those on that one you're talking about, and it's just supposed to be much better. They're getting great spectrum out of it. Plus, I think it's quality, all that kind of stuff put together. But yeah, they're a pricey light.
Yeah.
That's why I'm only running T5s on this because I can't afford these Radions.
Oh, I'm with you. If my LEDs went down, I'd just go buy 2 more T5s and stick them on the tank.
They have new light bulbs out. They're called E5 bulbs. Have you guys, if you're not subscribed to the Core Reef Talk, that channel, he just covered some brand new bulbs that came out. They're called E5 bulbs, and they look like T5 bulbs, but they're actually LEDs that you can mount into normal high output T5 fixtures.
I haven't seen that. I'd like to see that.
Yes. Check that video out.
Are they dimmable?
Your ceiling fan.
From what I understand, they are, and you can run them right alongside normal T5 bulbs in the same fixture. So it's like revolutionary stuff, man. So
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out, man.
Because if I could afford, I'd like to have like a T5 hybrid with not halides, but with the LEDs built in.
Yeah, I really like that setup.
Because then you get the best of both worlds. You get the par for the corals, and then the nice par with the LEDs, and it just pops.
Well, you also get the controllability that goes along with the LEDs, because my lights, they have the sunrise, sunset effect, but during the day when I want the full par, I can have the T5s on, I get the better spread, I get the better par, I get better total light range, right? So between the spectral range, it's just a really nice way to go.
But you made that yourself, right?
Well, I didn't make it myself. I bought the Bulk Reef Supplies LET kit. It's an LED, but the company's LET that makes it, and it's
Jason.
It's something you put together. But yeah, you just buy the kit. It's like $150. Gives you 2 bulbs.
Yeah, I saw that on what CJ was talking about on that Core Reef talk. But I haven't actually taken a look at it yet. But that guy's got a 120-gallon tank, and he's done some good things with it. But I'll have to check out those lights. But mine, I've got the actinic and I've got the white spectrum on there, and mine goes from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, programmability on there. So I can adjust my actinic mode up to 70, 80%, 100%. So, I've got it set right now where it's good. And like I said, I've only got a GSP in there. So once I start getting, some torch corals and euphyllias, and then I'll start playing around with it more.
Nice.
That's funny because I'm growing frog spawn and torch corals like nuts in mine. It's splitting heads and everything.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys saw the BRS thing when they talked about all the lighting. A lot of people were saying that they would just stick with T5s. They wouldn't even bother doing the LED stuff because it was too expensive.
That's what one of the fish guys told me.
Growth off of the T5.
He said stick with the T5s. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you got the money, I really like the LED T5 combo, but if you don't, a straight LED.
I've never had the T5s. How much are they?
So the kit I have is $150. It would take 2 of those kits to completely light my tank. So
That's
that
it?
would put so it'd put you $300 to light my 210, as opposed to at least $1,000 for LEDs, right?
That's
So
awesome.
you have LEDs too, though, right, Scott?
I do, yeah. I got the combo deal going.
So the guys in the
Oh,
comments are
okay.
talking about LEDs. And I asked the question, T5s or LEDs, what's better for the growth? And why would you want one over the other? And the guys are saying T5s have better coverage.
No, the coverage on a T5 is much better. That's the main reason I got them.
So would you take that over an LED then?
Well,
For
you
coverage,
lose
I would, yes.
but you lose
about
the
the growth?
controllability.
What about the growth?
I don't have no control. The only control I have is my finger. That's it.
Or a timer.
Hey now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But I'm growing
they have
clothes
control of the
anyway,
T5
so I don't know.
fish, though.
What do you have in your tank, Ed?
Coral-wise or fish-wise?
Fish-wise.
Fish, I got a regal tang, I got a yellow tang, I got a fox face, a maroon clown, a peculiar clown, 5 chromis, a dotty back, a blue spotted sand shifting goby,
Oh,
a
okay.
Midas blenny, and a lawnmower blenny.
Sweet. I had 2 of the golden Midas blennies. They're about 4 inches. I stuck them in at the same time, and so far so good. One time they started throwing down. They got into it right in the mid part of the tank, and they bit each other.
Jason, that tank looks
they're fine.
fantastic, man.
I've got a bicolor blenny too, but he stays by himself. But those Midas blennies, so far so good, and I'm on 180.
Yeah, I was surprised you did that because they usually can be very territorial.
Yeah, no, they were in QT together, and I put them in there. And like I said, they've kind of pecked at each other a couple times, but they got plenty of room, and they don't bother my bicolor blenny because he gets the hell out of dogs when they.
Well, the lawnmower blenny and the Midas blenny haven't touched each other either. They get along pretty well.
That's good. Yeah, I like those Midas blennies. They're pretty cool looking. I like them.
Hey, quick question, Jason.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You got the Gyre as the 150?
That's the 130.
130?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got the 130 on my tank. How about we give these guys a quick demonstration? Let's crank them both up to 100% and see what it does.
What?
Heck yeah.
It'll shoot my fish out of the water.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you what it does on my tank, and I guarantee you that you can do it on your tank and get away with it.
Did you end up running it split, CJ, or did you end up doing the whole thing?
Nope.
I'll
Whole
put it on
thing. I got the
100%,
end cap, but I don't
Nice.
need to. I'm going to show you what 100% does. You can do. Man, these tanks can take way more flow than we give them credit for. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna give you guys 100% really quick.
Okay, here.
Okay, ready? Look.
Here's 100% constant.
Here goes 100% constant on mine. Here it kicks in.
Wow.
It's building up. Here it goes.
Nice.
So what kind of LEDs do you have, CJ?
I just got the Ocean Revive T247 LEDs.
Does it show how much stuff it kicks up?
Oh yeah, it's kicking up all kinds of
So,
stuff, man.
hey, you guys, CJ and Jason, the reason why you have those gyres is it basically keep a lot of any kind of detritus or anything in suspension so it gets sucked up through the overflows? Or because I notice if you have 2 power heads on there, if you have a linear flow, don't you want to place your gyre like at the top or the bottom?
Well, I bought it to use. Demi's bored.
Or are you guys using it just to stop any dead space, any kind of dead water in there? Are you using it for that?
Well, we have two pumps because we were getting the red slime, so we had to get this. We had to get that second pump
Okay.
because the gyre wasn't doing enough.
Look what you did, CJ.
Look,
See,
it's
I think
almost
that's
pushing-
going to be
It's almost pushing water out of my tank. Look at the lip of my tank.
Wow.
It's almost pushing it straight out of the tank.
Wow.
But I think Jason's setup is going to be what we're going to see a lot of people have in the future is kind of the ideal setup where you have the pump in there and then you also have the gyres to give you the surface agitation and all that, and then you have the pumps for down low. I think that's going to be a pretty cool
That's the main
setup.
reason. The main reason I did it is because you can angle it towards the top, and it's a wide flow pattern. So that dead spot I had back here in the back right, where the MP10 was, it's no longer happening.
Yeah, we had 2 dead spots, so we were getting a bunch of that.
Yeah,
The
so but
cyano
yeah,
right through
this thing
here.
can move. It can move some water, but cutting it in half is not required on my tank at least.
How often do you guys use the gyre on both of your tanks?
How long? I've been using it for like 3 weeks.
No, how long? How
3 weeks
long
or so.
during the day?
It's on.
Oh, yeah.
What I do, I alternate throughout the day.
Okay.
I start in wave mode and pulse mode at 60% pulse, and I pulse the gyre and the new J-bow together. And halfway through the day, I'll switch to constant, kind of sweep everything out.
Okay.
It's on all day long at 60%, either constant or pulse.
How about you, CJ?
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really switch, man. I don't have a controller, so.
The guys in the
leave
comments
it
are
on.
commenting
leave
on
it
the
on pulse.
gyre. They're saying that, hold on, the gyre is best in the top half for total water movement and oxygen. Amazing. That's from Eric Olson. 1 pump only for the whole tank. I think that's what he's saying he uses.
Now, what would I do on mine? My 180 or my 300?
A big gyre.
Yeah, I mean the 150 would be good, but I'll tell you the reverse flow on it is worthless. You're not gonna get any use out of the reverse action on it.
That depends if you switch the propellers or not.
See, that's the thing. I haven't switched to propellers yet, so you know what?
If
Let
you
me
switch
reserve.
it actually makes it pretty good undertow if you switch them.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking about. I just threw it in the tank and turned it on. I haven't switched anything out yet, so
I've only switched it to play with it. I don't actually use
So
it.
Scott, do you think that would behoove me to get that gyre in my 180 with 2 of the Ecotech MP40s or not?
I would
that's
say gyre.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the ultimate setup in the future. Is going to be the gyre combined with 1 or 2 of the smaller lower pumps. Because I think that gyre is going to do a great job going across the top.
Yeah,
I
think
think
that's what I think I'm going to do, because I told these guys in the comments right here, I've got 2 MP40s, 1 on each side of my 125, which is 6 feet long tank, and then put the gyre in the center closer to the top right, for the oxygenation, right? That's what I think I will do.
So you're gonna have it in the center on the back wall, pulsing through the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
that'd be awesome.
I think the gyre worked better long ways.
You think so? Then what about the MP40?
Keeps everything in suspension.
That's what I've heard of the gyre, because
pretty well.
I talked to a couple of the guys at Bulk Reef, and they said the same thing, to keep the gyre on the end, but you don't want your power heads. You don't want to put the gyre on a linear flow. You want to have your power head staggered, but have the gyre at the top like both of you guys do. And I can see it's got one hell of a water movement, man.
If I was gonna run two, I'd put 1 in the back over here and then 1 over here to push everything forward.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I'll tell you one thing about the gyre.
They work so well. You just put 1 on the edge.
Now, say for me, if I wanted to put one on my 300, that's an 8-foot tank.
So I can do a reverse also with the MP40s. With the Reef Crest mode, it blows in reverse and it does a pulsating thing, and it really it churns everything up, and all that detritus comes out of that rock like crazy. So I don't know. I've got an MP40 in each end. I'd hate to get rid of them. I would not.
Hell no.
If you're gonna have gyre on a tank with coil, my best recommendation is to add the gyre before you add your coils, because I added this thing and literally had to remove a coil from my tank. That big finger leather I had that was right here, that huge one, is gone. I had to replace it with this one, which I haven't glued this one in yet. I'm still trying to get them to attach to the rock. But the gyre was literally blowing my finger leather over to the left. It was laying over top of my whole skate, over top of everything. So it was like.
So what do these gyres go for?
If I leave mine on constant all day, this frog spawn tries to blow itself over.
Yeah.
So I have to alternate between pulse and constant halfway through the day.
Are they expensive, the gyres?
Yeah.
They cost the same as an MP. One gyre,
Oh,
130
bro.
costs the same as an
Hey,
MP10.
Ed, there's nothing cheap in saltwater.
They're cheap. They're cheap in the vortex.
Gibos are cheap.
Huh?
Gibos are
in the
cheap.
vortex.
Hey, I got 2 of the J-Bow RW20s on that 300. Those things rock.
That's all you need, man. Those are rock.
Those are
Well,
great.
you can get the knockoff crossflow. The Jacob crossflow is a knockoff gyre, so you can do that. But I just
I
think
looked
it's.
online. I haven't found those.
I think Fish Street
They were
had them on sale when they were in stock, but they may have been out of stock.
I was gonna say because I went to Fish Street and they were out of stock then.
Yeah.
Fish?
I just bought 2 high doors for $35 a piece.
Hey, you're winning, man.
Perfect.
That's called
how you do it.
called winning right there. So.
I got a knockoff high door from some mom and pop reef store for like $22 for the JBJ 45. It's awesome.
I'll send you 3 high doors if you want them.
I had 2 of the Hydor Karelia 4s when I was running freshwater, and then I kept these 2 back for my quarantine tanks, one on a 55 and one on my 75 angled upwards, and those things work great in there. I just got 2 of the AquaClear 110 hang on the back filters in each of my QT tanks, and that does plenty of movement.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I love J-Bow. What I will say, you can use the J-Bow pumps to simulate any of the other pumps on the market, but when it comes to simulating the gyre flow, the only thing that can simulate a gyre flow is a gyre pump.
Yeah.
Period. So that's one thing I've learned in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I tried to recreate this type of flow with my MP10, and it's not possible with one pump. Maybe with 2, but not with 1.
I can see both of you and Jason, their tanks, man. You got some serious flow coming out of those gyres at 60%. Yeah. That's nice.
CJ, do you think that that gyre is a little overkill for your 45?
Honestly,
just turn it down.
It could. It could be, but I don't run it at 100%. And I prefer it that way because it's quieter.
Yeah.
It's really quiet over top of the MP10. Really, I mean, it's total different noise-wise. But running this thing at 40% or 40% pulse, which is what I have it on, it's dead silent. And I mean, it's like it doesn't exist. So that's nice. I don't have to worry about the MP10 ramping up or ramping down and hearing that. Because I had to run my MP10 close to 80-90% to get the flow I needed for my tank.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is maybe going off course a little bit, but when I get set up, maybe in the next year, I want to get a Red Sea Reefer 450.
We all want that.
The Red Sea tanks are awesome.
Red Sea.
They are beautiful.
Hey, my local
This
fish
tank
store,
is
my local fish store just had a sale, and they marked down the 350 and the 450. They knocked it down $500.
I haven't heard one person though. Anyone with a Red Sea tank, are any of them happy with the sump space?
I don't think so.
I personally
That's the one thing I've heard consistent across everyone with one of those tanks. They're not happy with the sump space.
You know what?
That's what I've heard too, but you know, I don't have one yet. It's just I like the finish of it. I like you know, the way that glass is designed. You know, now you might have to go with it. I don't know how big a sump that is, Jason, but I know that the 350 is a 73-gallon, and the Red Sea Reefer 450 is a 92, I believe.
92-gallon sump?
No, 92-gallon tank.
Oh, okay. About to say that sump sounded huge.
I think you can actually add a sump onto that one too if you decide that it's not enough on that Red Sea Reefer. I think Red Sea makes a kit so you can put a sump onto it.
Yes, I've heard that, but I've also heard what CJ said too, that some people across the board aren't happy with it. But I don't know how big that sump is, but it looks pretty good. Is that the ATO on the side right there?
This is the Red Sea Reefer 350. So we got the separate compartment here.
Okay.
And I run my auto top-off jug over here.
Uh-huh.
And then tons of oscillator.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it's plenty big enough. I mean, you got
That's a nice setup.
Yeah, it is.
The heater. skimmer.
Have you guys seen these little Fluval? They make a submersible digital thermometer. Have you seen it?
No.
They've been out about a year, and I got 2 of them for my tanks, and they're within 1 to 2 degrees dead center, and they're great. You know, you don't have any cords or anything.
I think the pumps on the Red Sea or the sumps on the Red Sea are perfectly adequate.
Yeah, it looks good.
You know, I have no complaints with the whole system.
I guess.
So do you think it depends on what size Red Sea for you got?
What I'm wondering is if. What I'm wondering if
The only
is
thing I think you
people
might
with
want to do maybe later on is maybe get a bigger skimmer depending on the stock in your tank.
I actually went with a smaller skimmer.
Oh, you did?
I had a Reef Octopus 152S.
Uh-huh.
And it just sat idle. It was too big. So it skimmed for like a day and then sit idle all week long.
And Reef Octopus is a good skimmer, but my external, man, that thing, I had to Frankenstein the Eheim pump, man. I had to dial it down because my bubble blaster was going crazy. It took me over a week to dial that thing. Thank God I had the wasteman, the collection cup. Man, that thing was filling up every day. So I got it the way I want, but I really like that Reef Octopus skimmer. It's really good.
I got rid of the Reef.
Come on, Jason, man, stay still, man. I'm just trying to see the tank, man. You making it bad on me, man.
I don't know what to do.
We're trying to prop Jack pad up here so we can get it steady.
Hey, CJ, he's trying to juggle that beer in his hand by opening the door.
My fault.
Okay. Blame the camera lady.
All right, so CJ, I wanted to say real quick, now that I have, thanks to you, a JBJ45, I am really impressed with the amount of space in the back of that thing, man. Those chambers are massive. It's really nice.
Yep, definitely. But one thing I want to show you to look out for, because I can kind of visualize those anemones in your tank. The worst thing for your anemone in the JBJ is going to be these holes. Let me see if I can find one for you.
I know what you're talking about. I saw those. Thanks for the tip when I was filling it up.
How does that look?
It's like a drunk guy holding a camera.
It's the wife.
It's the wife.
Drunk girl holding
funny.
the camera.
I'm not even drunk.
Hey, how about now? Good?
Good.
That looks great.
Okay.
And
It's a good-looking tank.
You guys in that Red Sea Reefer, you could put a lot more rock in there too, because it's I think it's about 2 feet wide.
I have one thing to add about the lighting.
No, I mean, eventually you can put more rock in there because you've got pretty good floor space in there.
I have the
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Yeah, your face is stuck in time, but I can hear you.
Okay. But yeah, watch out for those pressure release holes, man, because they will suck up your corals. Every anemone I've had that walked past it has been sucked into it, and I've literally had to cut it out. So, yeah.
Those are those just two like tiny little dot holes, like pinholes, right?
There's
like
three of them.
There's
3 of them. Now, you don't want to really cover them up because they serve a purpose, but just be mindful of it. If you have any nymphs that are walking close to that wall, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's going to be sucked into it. So just watch out for it.
All right.
I want to get back to the Red Sea reefer, and you guys talking about the sump size not being large enough. What I think is probably going on is some of those are all-in-one tanks. So what they're probably talking about is that backspace not being large enough. Because it looks like the sump that Jason has is great.
Yeah, the Red Sea Reefer is not
I
an
think it's
all.
plenty big enough.
Not an all.
No, but they also make all-in-one Red Sea tanks, right?
Yeah,
And so I'm wondering if that's not what people are complaining about, is the back compartment on the all-in-one style without the sump down below.
I know they're as expensive as hell. I know that.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's worth every penny.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a beautiful tank. I was standing next to one. They have the XL 525 too. I think that's like 108 or 110 gallon. But I looked at the 350 and 450, and the glass. It looks like it's Starfire, but it's not. But it's. I like the way that the glass has been, put together, just like the JBJ. But I like the quality, the craftsmanship in the tank and in the stand too. The stand is really nice.
Oh yeah, the stand is really nice.
The glass is a half-inch thick.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed
nice.
that. Yeah. I like the JBJ.
Blowing or warping.
I like the JBJ tanks. I just don't like their stands.
The stands are garbage.
They're garbage. Yeah, they're garbage. Their tanks are nice.
They're very nice. They charge $300 for garbage stands. They're all wobbly. And CJ.
No, they come in free.
Huh?
The stands,
they come for free.
You just pay for the tank.
I'm gonna go put one together after this.
They charge $300. that crap.
Pressed wood?
The Red Sea
It's like
stand.
worse than pressed wood. It is. It's terrible. And CJ asked me. He goes, "Hey, if you touch your tank, does it wobble?" Yeah, it's bad. You can't. You can't even like, oh, there's a smudge on the glass, so let me touch it for a second. The whole tank goes like this.
Oh.
Yep, it does. I thought it was just me, so thanks for confirming that. If I get real aggressive with my mag float, it really gets going.
Exactly,
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, DJ, I noticed that you were using the on your flipper, you were using like a paper towel. I used to detail cars when I was younger, and I cut a piece of microfiber off, and I cut it to the size of the flipper, and I put that in between. That thing just floats across the glass with nothing, and you won't scratch it either, because some paper towels, depending on what kind they are, they can be kind of coarse, and I don't know if that's going to scratch your glass or not, but I know acrylic it will.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good tidbit. I guess the main reason I just use paper towels is because they're so cheap and disposable. I throw them away. I swap them out every 2 or 3 days. But if I can get a big sheet of micro felt or whatever you were talking about, I'll be. How does it do if it gets wet though? That's the question. See, paper towels can take a little bit of water. What about those felts?
The microfiber. The microfiber towels. Yeah, they can take it. Yeah, not a problem.
What are you guys talking about using paper towels for what?
On the mag flow between the glass. He seen my little.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I took a microfiber, a towel for auto towel, and I cut a piece of it out, and I put that in there right over my flipper. And if I get any water there, it just sucks it up. But I don't know if you guys know, but on the Flipper Max, Scott, on your sides, it can be harder to move. You notice that?
Oh yeah, it's a strong magnet on that thing.
Yeah, on the front. On my 300, I got 3/4 inch acrylic all the way around, so it floats on that. But on my 180 on the sides, it's it's hard to move.
So I got a question for Scott actually. Since you're the leather master, I seen your last vid from when you fragged your big huge leather.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this leather. I tried to glue it to the rock like my first leather that was successful. This time it just kept sloughing off its skin. So I tied it to a rock with some fishing line. Is that going to be sufficient to get this thing to attach?
It should.
What's your trick?
It should be. On the Sinulaira like you have, I've used rubber bands in the past and been fine. I tried getting a Nephthia. It's in my frag tank now, and when I put that on with the rubber band, it just kept fragging itself. I never could get it to stick. The big Sinulaira that I just did, I got lucky because I was able to break the piece of rock that it was on, so I cut the leather in half and broke the rock, and I was able to glue the rock to something, so I actually had something hard there. But when I cut a piece off of it, then I just rubber band it to a frag or something, a fragger rock.
Okay, so I tied that line pretty loose, thinking that if I tied it tight, it would just cut through the coral. So okay.
Oh, and it will.
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Here's a quick question. I'm still monitoring the comments, right? So, and this is a good question that you guys can all answer. We talked about this before. Someone asked about IC. How do you guys quarantine your inverts? What do you do?
You don't. You just take. Well,
that's why you guys have big problems, man.
All I know is after what I went through.
He quarantines everything.
Are going to go on my 29-gallon where they are right now.
There's only one man in this room that can speak to how to do it, and he just spoke. That's it. But me, you know, don't listen, don't follow anything I do. I break every rule in the book.
Hey, but you know what? You know what though, man? You can get away with a lot of that stuff. When I had freshwater fish, sometimes I didn't QT them. I mean, it's just like a roll of the dice. But I also think too on saltwater. You know, I'm pretty new in the hobby in saltwater, but you gotta Mike from Aaron's Aquarium. He made the same kind of analogy. If you go out in the cold and you've got a big, huge jacket on, it's going to deflect a lot of the cold. It's just like a fish that's healthy. Their immune system's really healthy. They got a thick slime coat. A lot of that times that ick is going to have a hard time on there. I noticed that the tangs get stressed out more than anything. Of course, Scott can speak about that. But you know, after what I went through, you know, I had to take 300 fucking pounds of rock out of my tank. And then all my snails out, and I had to take all my fish out and let the tank sit fallow. And if I get another outbreak of like an ick in my fowler, I'm going to just use cupramine in there. Now, some people say that you can't get rid of cupramine. I don't agree with that. I think you can take it out with carbon or cooper sorb. You can take that out of there. Some people will differ. You know, but if you're going to be using it for inverts, of course I wouldn't use it. But my fowler tank, I'll just nuke the whole fucking tank. I don't care.
Man, check out Wayne's.
Especially in a fowler tank.
I think it's called Wayne's Fish Tank. I think that's the channel. I keep naming channels because I watch all kinds of them. But no, not that one. It's not that one. That's the huge one. It's a smaller channel, but he has after videos of using cupramine on his main display, and he had corals in there and fish, and everything was still alive. So
I'll tell you what, you guys talk to
everything was still alive.
Cyber Aquarius. That guy knows water probably better than he does fish. I'm not kidding. I've talked to him in length. You know, I know CJ has too, but you know, him and I have talked on the phone several times, and the guy, he works for a water company. That's what he does. And he's even told me, too, like CJ was just saying, you know, you can use cupramine in there, and without having the fear of placing inverts in after that and killing them, you can pull it out. I mean, if you can put cupramine in your QT tanks if you've got some, some rock in there, you can pull that out. It's going to leach out eventually.
Right.
You can pull it out. Anytime it's like using anything else. It's when you're doing water changes or you're putting anything in, you're gonna lessen the degree of the actual chemical. So I'm like I said, I'm new in this hobby, but from having freshwater fish for a lot, I bought some clown loaches one time. Long story short, I got them from one of the owners at a pet store, and I got some big clown loaches, and he said they'd been quarantined. They didn't. I got one of the worst cases of a rampant disease, and it took me a while to get rid of it. I had to seek some professional help, so that's why I QT everything. But I know a lot of guys in the freshwater hobby who have never quarantined, and they've never had any problems. It just,
that's true. They got lucky. They really did, because
it's pure luck.
When I had my 28-gallon, that's what I started out in. I never had any problems, nothing. And then I got that 75-gallon, and I thought that tank was cursed because the ick was just terrible, and I didn't know what it was. And
think about it, guys. When you have as much coral as Scott does, or you other guys have coral. You're not gonna quarantine it, and your guys' tanks are healthy. Yeah, you might get some ick here and there, but it's usually the fish's immune system wipes it out. And then, CJ, your tank, look at all the coral you've got in there. I mean, your coral is thriving, and you don't quarantine your fish because your water parameters are good, and you guys feed your fish, good food, and they're healthy.
The big,
I'll tell you.
And I also have ick.
Yeah, the big thing
I
with
will-
Or a frag stop.
Darren brought up a great point where, you know, everyone says if you feed your fish well, etc., that's great, but the problem is it's not a disease where if you feed them well and they get enough sleep, then they'll be fine and healthy like a person, because it's a parasite, and you were right when you said that the slime coat is thicker, so certain fish won't be affected as much because that slime coat's going to help it a little bit, but the bigger picture is that damn parasite is running rapid, multiplying by the thousands in your aquarium. So there's going to be some fish that will not have the resistance, and they will die, and it'll eventually wipe out all your fish. The people who say that they don't have a problem, they just haven't had it yet, and
Well,
your tank will
I kinda-
crash. The parasites
I see that.
the parasites
I'd like to
will
point
multiply to such a rapid. I mean, it's going to get to the point. And why doesn't it happen in the ocean? Because the parasites.
Too much water.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Volume, yes.
trapped in a box.
Massive volume.
Yeah, your fish are trapped in a box. It's like you're trapping. There's nowhere for them to go. So all these parasites are. Man, if you could see a parasite, what the water would look like infested, can you imagine that? Like all these neon dots or something like that. It would be.
Well, Steve, when I had that marine velvet, when I talked to you about it, I had never even know what marine velvet. I've heard of it, but I got an up close lesson. You know, when I talked to you, Steve, about it, I didn't know what it was. And then we kind of deciphered what it was. But I lost a Heniacus and a pearl scale butterfly right off the bat. Boom. But by the time I got my fish out, I lost 6 fish before I got a foothold on it. But after that, my fish responded to the coopermine. They were fine. But marine velvet is, to me, it's a lot more rampant than ick. I mean, it really gets inside your system, and it just takes the life out of them.
It's
I could
hard
do
for
it
me
again,
it's
I
hard
would,
for me to comment on ick
I would definitely do it.
because I do not quarantine.
Well, here's the thing.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
The guys I get my fish from, I've known for a long time, and they do quarantine at the shop.
Now,
So I'm able to go in the back and pick and choose which one I want.
that's different.
Okay, hold this one for me for a week. I'll be back to pick it up.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So that's the thing too. It depends where you buy them too. If you go to some shady place, you're probably going to get ick and everything else.
Well, I made
If
a
you
mistake when I first
you got to
started.
watch where if they quarantine them themselves.
My local fish store had a big sale when I first started, 30% off everything. So you think about it. The fish come from the transshipper into a wholesaler. From the wholesaler, they come from Indonesia usually, Fiji, come into California, sit there, and they come up from California to all these stores. So they come to my local fish store, and you've got employees with nets in each tank.
Yeah.
And I wound up buying like 7 fish because they were on sale, and I lost like 4 of them.
You almost have to blame yourself.
Yeah, I do blame myself.
Fish that just came in knowingly.
I do blame myself, but when I got marine velvet, it's because I got some nice turbo snails, and then I put the snails in there, and there was something in the water. They were still in the bag, so I didn't know that. I was completely ignorant of that, but I know it now, and that's where it came from because my tank was up and running for 2 months, and there was nothing in there. When I put those snails, boom! Right, 3 weeks later, that's when it hit.
Yeah.
Well, snails are like coral. You really got to dip them, and you got to put them in fresh water just to make sure they get all the crap off of them.
Yeah.
That's what I do every time I put them in my tank.
That's right, and boiling works really well. So when you get snails, boil them.
Yeah, put some garlic butter on it.
That'll take care of that.
Little tartar sauce inside.
It's like Jason
You say garlic butter.
Depends where you get your fish from too. If you get your fish from a reputable place, that's half of it right there. But
half of the hobby is making connections and going to people you can trust, and knowing where you're getting things from, and knowing when their shipments come in, and how they treat their fish, and how they run their business. I mean, I don't go to the chop shops in Denver. I go to the places I can trust.
Hey, are any of you all running algae scrubbers?
No.
No.
I've had this algae scrubber on the tank for a little over a month now. That's why I was just wondering if anyone has one.
yeah, My algae scrubber is called the Flipper.
LA Fish Guy swears by those hogs.
Yeah, he does.
I can show you all a month of growth if you all want to see it.
Sure.
See what it looks
Did you see
like.
his new tank, Scott?
It is an awesome tank. I love the rock work he did on that thing.
Cool.
Well, that's what's that guy's name with the long hair?
I forget his name, but that tank is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for an update.
Which one?
LA Fish Guy?
Oh, yeah.
His
Jim
old,
Stein?
His old tank was great.
Yeah.
The new one looks really
You know, Scott, the guy that does the plumbing, he knows
take
his
a
shit.
Oh yeah.
I haven't looked at the scrubber in probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, that's nasty. Oh yeah, that's real nasty. Let's see.
I've been waiting for your update videos, CJ.
Yeah, man, I've just been really busy. Let's see. I don't know if you all can see that.
Oh,
Let me turn off the light. Giving you all the update before the update. How about that? For everyone that tunes in live, they get to see it.
Hey, CJ, you like smoking cigars?
Black and Milds is all I smoke. I'm not a stogie guy or a Cuban guy or anything.
Yeah, I saw you smoking one in your last video in your car, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Lunch break.
I like cigars.
That's a lunch break special. Wine flavor Black and Milds.
Nice.
Let's see.
Those are good.
As a matter of fact, I'll probably go get one here in a second. I'm trying to turn off this red light so I can show you all the algae.
I'm gonna smoke me a cigar as soon as I get off here.
I've got some good news about Kessel, if anybody's interested.
Jason, what are you running on your tank as far as lights?
I run 2 Kessel with the A360 WEs.
Are those A360s?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
And I had an issue. Okay, so this happened last week. Last week, I noticed the light on the right was more purple, and the one on the left was more blue. It was driving me crazy. It wasn't bugging the corals, wasn't bugging the fish, it was just bugging me. So I called them up and said, hey, this is the issue. And the lady I talked to said, okay, no problem. Here's 2 new ones. Didn't even blink an eye, didn't ask me any questions, just sent me 2 brand new lights.
Wow. Are those pretty spendy?
They're $400 a piece.
Damn.
And the controller's $100. Goosenecks are $30. It's easily about $1,000.
Here we go.
That's nasty, CJ.
Look at that. Look at that growth, man. It's like dark green. That's a month worth.
How long?
1 month. I think that's pretty good for a month.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I haven't cleaned it out yet. Now, how much it's affecting my tank, who knows? But I think any algae growth is good if I can get it in this box, so I'll take it.
Sure.
Do you have a sump, CJ?
In the back of the tank. It's all in
On the
one.
back, okay. Yeah, I run Shadow in my sump.
Yeah,
Mine's
so all in one. I would like to. Let me plug in my little contraption here. I run my scrubber with my analog timer. All right, let's see. But yep, that's it. But
That's what I use for timers too, man. On some of my head freshwater, the analog just like that.
Yep.
oh yeah,
Do you think a timer's even necessary in an algae scrubber, CJ? Would there be
yeah,
any
because you
benefit
got to
to
control
24/7 of that?
You have to. No, you have to control the photo period. That's the only reason I use it. You can't run it 24/7. It's not good, is what they say in the book. You know, you're supposed to let the algae have time to go through its natural process with the lights off and lights on, like plants.
Well, that's just like a sump. You have to run the stuff at night, and then you run the lights in the daytime.
Well,
that's what they say.
bit
I just leave mine on all the time. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, that's a little. That's a little different. Reverse light period. That's different. That's not the real reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it more for just a natural process of algae growth.
It's more for pH balance.
So you run it the same time you run your LEDs?
No, they normally are off during the middle of the day. I have them off for 4 hours out of the day, and then they come on when my lights are about to go off. Lights are on right now because I have them on. They're usually off right now. But,
Did you guys see the new asshole in here?
let's see.
The Wyoming white
No.
clownfish?
Did we see what?
Yep, that's
The new clownfish killed 2 snowflake clowns.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, just beat the hell out of them. Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, clowns are just so territorial. We're talking about that earlier.
Fine. They were fine. I went to bed, woke up, one was dead. Next day, I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens today. Scratching my head, wondering, oh, maybe it just died. I don't know.
That sucks.
Came home the next day, and the other one was tattered and torn, so I scooped him out, threw him in the sump, tried to nurse him back to health, and it was just too far gone.
That sucks.
That new Wyoming white clown is just a monster.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can ever get another clown again.
And they're the same species. They're both Ocellaris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
definitely
And they were
unfortunate. Well, hey
Yeah.
guys, I'm gonna give you all
new
the peace
smaller.
the peace symbol. I'm heading out of here. It was fun times, guys.
All right. Well, it's good having you on, CJ.
Take it
See
easy,
you guys
CJ.
later. Time to relax for the night. Y'all take it
All right.
easy.
We'll see ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That new clown is just extremely aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know about those clowns. You guys saw my video where they killed my starfish. They can really fight. I don't know what's up with them. It's probably because they're a type of damsel.
Damsels are bastards.
Just angry.
I've got 3 azure damsels.
So the Azure, so far, I'm liking. Are you having any luck with them?
My azures.
Yeah, are you having any aggression with them or anything?
One of them's an aggressive little bastard, yes. But other than that, they're fine. They keep to their own. Like one of them goes after my magnificent fox face if he gets too close to his little territory. But they're doing fine in there. They try to keep them so.
That'd be expensive loss if a Magnificent died.
Oh, man.
He's about 6-7 inches.
And how big are the damsels?
About 2.
And they're taking him on.
They tried to until he almost spiked one of them.
Oh, gee.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Shish kebab.
Oh, man.
My tangs stay away from them. I've got an orange shoulderback, and I've got in my fowler, and I've got a white cheek tang, and they don't mess with them. But no, he's pretty calm. Actually, I'm pretty lucky. He doesn't mess with me. You know, when I put the algae up on, for the seaweed up on there, or the algae rings. Talking about that, have you guys? Did you used to use the New Era algae rings?
That was Steve's the one I think who was liking those. I've never tried them.
I've never seen those.
They stopped making them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't find them, so I'm just feeding them nori right now.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's all I've ever done is nori on a clip.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do.
Well,
But those rings were nice because they had that little hook you hung them on, right?
well, they have just like it compresses against the glass. But the thing is, it's 3 different seaweeds compressed into one. They love it.
Nice.
So I do it the old-fashioned way. I glued it to a magnet and it stays there. The hook for the nori.
Oh. Yeah, I got some nori. I just had to be careful. It just says seaweed on there, so I just had to make sure the ingredients were just that. So
Yeah, that's all I use.
yeah,
Did you guys know clownfish eat that stuff too?
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh, mine eat it all the time. I thought I was seeing things.
huh?
My chromies eat them.
My chromies eat it.
Every
My,
fish in this tank eats it.
My
I
bankies
was
are
blown
going
away.
after it a little bit, which is weird.
My leopard basket.
You got a tank full of vegetarians.
I guess so. Well, they eat shrimp too, but you know, so you see fish, you thought you know what they were, what they do, and then they prove you wrong.
Well, fish are opportunistic. And if
That's very true.
They're going to eat it.
I feed. I don't know if any of you guys are using that Celcon, but I actually tried it. A cyber aquarist told me. So if you're feeding like cubes, like mysis shrimp or brine shrimp, put it so it's face up and drop the Celcon on top of there and let it sit for about 5 minutes and then let it soak in. And if you're feeding like flat pack food, you can do the same thing. Then just put some RO water in there and make it kind of soupy, and then the fish go nuts over it.
I've been soaking my pellets in it. My fish are loving it.
Oh yeah, you can do the same thing, yeah. So
I had to feed the fish. I'm back.
I got to feed mine. I got to feed myself first. I know you're fit like Jason was saying. Your fish are opportunistic, but when they see that turkey baster in my hand, they know what time it is.
Yeah, I know. They're smart. They know, man.
Well, I walk by the tank and they know exactly what that I'm going to feed them, and they just go nuts.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny the way the fish react to me and the way they react to my wife and kid because they know they're not going to feed them and I will. Yeah. So when I go up to the tank, they're much more interested.
Well, sometimes I say, "Hey, feed him for me, will you, son?" So they follow him too now.
He's a little. Mine's a little small still.
You know, I've got a red-breasted Maori wrasse, and I feed them scallops. I just crush them up into the mysis shrimp, scallops, and I feed them frozen squid. Man, that thing goes berserk on that. Then I feed the rods food too. I feed the carnivore, the herbivore, the plankton, and then I'll feed the cobalt flake. And I feed that different variety of, like, of course I've got fish that are carnivorous and I got fish that are herbivores, so I just feed them a little bit of each so they both get what they need.
I prefer rods.
Rods is good. It's palatable to the fish, but, like the greenbird wrasse, and the red-breasted Maori, they have to eat a little bit different, so I feed them. They do like the carnivore on rods, but I just wanted to. I was in Safeway one day and I saw the scallops, so I bought like maybe half a pound because that shit's $14 a pound. So I just tried it and I froze it and.
Hey, compared to a lot of the frozen food we're buying, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get
$25 for a flat pack of LRS. I mean,
I don't like the LRS.
You don't like the LRS?
No, I fed rods forever. Then I switched to LRS because some of the rods chunks are pretty big.
Yeah.
So I tried the LRS, and instantly, within a few days, there was a cyano outbreak.
And fish died.
And two
really?
fish.
Huh.
All I can say is I've been feeding the LRS for quite a while now, and I've had good luck with it. But we don't have the rods locally, so.
Where is a good place to get rods? Can you order that, or basically have to get it from your local store?
I get it locally.
I won 6 flat packs in a raffle at my local store. So that was
that's awesome.
6?
I know.
It's like a whole year's worth.
I put in $20 on a raffle and I won 6 packs, and the standard packs are about like this big, and I'm about halfway through now, so they like it.
All my guys go nuts for that stuff.
What's that?
All my guys go nuts for that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do like you do, Steve. On the weekends, I'll feed them twice, and then during the week, I'll feed them. Sometimes they don't get fed, but I always will stick some nori or an algae grazer ring in the morning. But if I have to work, they just don't. They don't get fed, So.
You know what I do? Because the Nassau tang, he eats only bok choy. That's it. So,
he won't eat the nori?
He does go after the nori too, yeah, but I don't feed that every day. I hand feed them the nori, but I've got quarter-inch piece of PVC that is always in the tank, big deal, with a rubber band, and I just take it out, put bok choy in, put it in there. It's kind of cool because before they eat it, it looks like I've got plants in the tank, you know, and it's the whole bok choy is gone within 30 minutes, and there's just a stem left, and all the tangs go after it. He will only eat that, but all the other tangs, they go berserk for the rod's food and pellet food, you know. Of course, the clowns, they only eat everything but, you know, nori. So I feed the bok choy once a day, and all the tangs go after that, mainly the Nassau. And then 5 minutes later, I'll put rod's food in. The next day, instead of rod's food, I'll put the, you know, frozen shrimp, you know, a cube of that, and everyone goes nuts for that. So whatever, I mix it up, but every day it's the bok choy for him, and everyone goes for him.
You know, I've got some NLS pellet food, but I don't feed them that. You know, I guess I probably should throw some of that in, but I'm just feeding them flake and frozen. I probably should throw some of the pellet in there.
Yeah. When you do, make sure you soak it in, like, I got a little ceramic cup. I just put some salt water in, and I just put those pellets in there for, like, you know, a minute, not even, or else they'll float, and they'll wind up going into the overflow. So I just do that and let them sink, and the fish usually get them before they hit the sand.
That's a good idea. I turn my pumps off when I'm feeding.
Yeah, me too. You know what I just got? I don't know. Is CJ still there?
No, he left.
No, CJ had to leave.
Oh, okay. So what I got for this JBJ 45, and you know, even for my 125, I got an outlet strip with separate power switches on each outlet, which is really nice because then I just power off the two for the pumps when I'm feeding, and when they're done eating, I just turn the switches back on for those two outlets on the strip. So each outlet has its own button on the strip. It's cool.
So you don't have a controller for those MP40s?
I do have a controller for the MP40s, and I'll power them to the feeding mode. Sorry, I was talking about for the JBJ 45.
Oh, okay.
Now, Steve, on your MP40s, do you have one set up as the slave and one set up as the master?
No.
I turn one of mine off on feed mode, and it turns the other one down.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, but I don't have them. I don't have I don't have one as a slave. I just run them separate. I use one in reef crest mode and the other one in, I can't remember what I do, but I change it up a little bit. So they're both running different flow patterns. But no, I don't have the slave thing. I've got them automatically set to night mode, so for the 10 hours, right about now, they're kicking off to be 50% power. So it gives the fish a little bit of a rest, you know? It saves a little bit on electricity too. How much? Probably not much. But
it's not going to save much on electricity because you already have it plugged in already. But I want to get that Reef Link eventually. It's about $100, so I can plug it into my router, and you know, and then I can go ahead and hook it into my phone. So I mean, it's not a necessity. It's kind of like a want more than a need, but it's sure cool having that.
What about an Apex?
Oh, do you?
No, I don't. I'm saying, what about Apex?
I'd like to have an Apex, but I'm pretty. Like I said, I'm pretty cash strapped right now.
Seems like a waste of money to me.
They're for something. They're for people in a different income tax bracket.
Yeah. But I think the Reef Link, Steve, something you might want to look into, especially, you know, I know it's kind of you can say, well, you're lazy, but you know, you can hook it into your tablet, your phone, and you can, you know, control your power heads or your pump. I've got the Vectra M1, and you can turn them down manually from your phone. So it's kind of cool. It's not a necessity.
It comes with a controller, though.
What?
All your pumps.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying if you wanted to, yeah, it might have the same as Steve does, but I'm saying if you wanted to hook the Reef Link in there, it's like, you know, you could hook that into your phone, and you can dial the pumps down, you know, through your phone if you wanted to.
I just can't justify spending the money for Neptune or.
No, I'm saying, I mean, it's kind of cool.
Right. It's a cool idea, But I haven't done it for that reason. I just don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather spend.
Anything that Neptune can do, I can do myself, and or test for, or. You know,
I'd rather spend the money on salt.
rather buy Oracle, not,
I have.
Neptune.
I have both my can't talk. I have both my MP40s together, you know, underneath the cabinet, right next to each other, so I can just, when I grab the food, I just, you know, turn off the pumps really quick. I just press a button on each, and I'm done. And then it's nice because the feeding mode, I believe, only lasts for 10 minutes, and then
10 minutes, and I have one as a slave and one as the master, so I hit the one and it turns the other one off, and I don't have enough room underneath there on my stand to put both of the controllers together, so I just have them on the side right there.
Yeah.
And then I turn my actual Vectra off. You know, I turn the feed mode, and it comes back on. So, but you know, I know it costs some money for those, but you know, I had a discussion with you and Scott before, but those pumps and the power heads are just great. You know, the J-Valves, nothing
nice.
away from them, but those J-Valves, they're not in the same class as the Ecotechs. I'm sorry.
No.
I beg to differ.
Huh? Okay.
I beg to differ.
You don't have to beg.
No, I want to make a quick point on the
For the price of the
pumps,
J-Valve, I mean, the power is ridiculous. The controllability is good.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Jason. I've got the J-Valves, and they're on my Fowler, and they're great. I just wanted to kind of step it up a little bit on my Reef. This is my first Reef tank, but I'm gonna keep those J-Valves on my 300.
I'd rather save the extra $200, $300 and not buy.
Well, let's put it this way: I got the Vectra, the M1, and both of the MP40s, and I paid $1,100 for all three.
You got money. You got a money tree in the backyard too?
Well, you know, those pumps, Steve, are $349 a piece. That's across the board, anywhere in the States.
I know. Wow. You know what? Hey, when I got my tax money, I'm like, I gotta have another MP40. I mean, you don't have to, but you know, it's like I just had the one at one end. I needed something else because it's a 6-foot long tank.
Yeah, your wife was really happy about that, wasn't she?
No, she was fine. It was $35.
No, I'm talking about when she was at home.
It was $35.
Yeah, $35.
Don't worry about
$35.
Well, Steve, you should probably get some Radions too then. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, they were 60.
Everything's $35.
10. I'd rather burn 10 J-Valves than one.
Those J-Valves, I think I paid about $110 for the RW20s, and they're a great pump. So I gotta agree with Jason. They're a great pump.
They're cheap. They look good. They work good.
They do. I just don't think they're.
I have no complaints.
I don't think they're built as good as the Ecotech, but that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, of course not. They're from China.
It's the difference between
They're all from China.
It's the difference between a Chevy and a BMW. A Chevy's a fine car, but a BMW is better.
Yep.
Oh no, I'd take a Camaro SS over a BMW.
My dream car is a Shelby. That's my dream car.
Does anyone want to buy a Subaru?
How much?
Subaru.
I love Subarus.
If you had an STI or WRX, I'd buy one.
Mine's a WRX.
I like them. They're nice. Great cars.
It's for sale.
I'll trade you a Mercedes for it.
No, I want a truck.
It's not a truck.
You know, one thing.
Throw in your fish tank and we'll talk.
One thing I didn't really notice when I got in this hobby. I know I've spent tons of money on freshwater, but I've had many tanks. But just getting everything that you need, I didn't realize the cost of it. You know, I had my 300 and I kept it, but then I had to get a custom sump. Then I had to get the J-Valves. Then I had to get the DC 12,000 pump for it. I got a pile pellet reactor. I got, you know, an ATO. I got 300 pounds of Fiji rock in there, the sand, and I had $5,000 in my tank. Just when I got
no one ever said it was cheap.
Well,
no, but it's like everybody said. Everybody's told me, Steve, Scott. I talked to them, and once you have your equipment, and I even listened to a couple of Mike Paletta's videos. You don't want to try to skimp 20 or 30 bucks here and there because you'll pay for it down the road.
Buy it once.
That doesn't mean you have to buy.
You can once, so you don't have to buy.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, and you don't have to buy the top of the line stuff. It just depends on your budget. But I figured, I got back like $3,900 on my taxes, and I used that money, and I got all my equipment.
Because if you buy inferior equipment, you're probably going to spend the money in the long run anyway.
Exactly.
Upgrade your
I think just the initial.
And see, that's where the debate comes in, is Jibo an inferior piece of equipment? Because I've actually had really good luck with the pumps. With that Jibo UV sterilizer I bought was junk. It lasted 3 weeks. I sent it back.
I just supplement flow with the Jibo and use the Max Pack for the main flow.
The best UV sterilizer on the market, bar none, is the Emperor Aquatics. That's the best. Now, people don't know UV sterilizers. Mine, I'm going to hook it up. I kept mine. Mine is 43 inches long. On UV sterilizer, the longer the dwell time, the better. People think like if you get these knockoff brands like the Coral Life, but basically if the water shoots through that UV light quickly, it's not going to kill any first stage protozoans or anything like this. You need that water to go over the actual light. That's what they call it, the dwell time.
Right.
And I haven't hooked mine up yet. I'm gonna do that. I figure out as soon as I can get the room. I'm kind of cramped under there, but I toured the factory. Those guys that own Tank, that reality show, they all use Emperor Aquatics. I talked to Brian Harnish, who owns Aquatic Titan Exhibits down in Arizona. He uses Emperor Aquatics, and all the reviews I've looked at it, it's one of the, if not the best UV sterilizer on the market.
So Emperor Aquatics has been bought out.
Big enough.
What's that?
I was going to say, Emperor Aquatics has been bought out by Pensar.
Yes.
And anyways.
Get one big enough.
Well, here's the thing. Emperor Aquatics has been bought out by Pensar, right? So when I wanted a UV, I emailed them and see what they recommended for my setup. I was kind of thinking maybe like their 80-watt one would be good enough. They emailed me back and with a link to the one that I should probably get for my system. It was like $3,100 industrial aquaculture thing.
Oh my God!
I got mine 2 years ago, and it's sitting there, and I have hardly used it. When I sold my two 360s, I sold my UVs with it, but I kept one back, and I haven't hooked it up yet. I've got a flow meter attached to mine. You want to run about 300 GPH per hour through there. But
see, that's a really good idea, that flow meter.
Yeah, get a flow meter. It's like about $20. You attach it, and you can run a pump with it. Probably a Cobalt, the MJ1200. But anyway, I paid like 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago, I got it. I paid $350 for it, and they're about almost $400, and that's the 40-watt high output. But I mean, a lot of people don't run them. But I mean, since I've got it, I'm gonna hook it up.
Yeah, you should.
But my reef tank, I don't have anything in there. So, like I said, I'll probably hook up my UV, down the road sometime, but just not now.
I was just blown away at what they recommended for my tank. When I put down that I wanted to get rid of ick and keep ick out of the system and the problems I was having, that's what they recommended, was this big old aquaculture industrial thing. Which makes me think to get rid of ick, it takes a massive UV.
What kind of UV sterilizer do you have, Scott?
Well, I bought the Jibo one. I bought the 55-watt Jibo just to try to help. It lasted 3 weeks and died, so I sent it back.
See, I got a Coral Life. I know you Darren said you don't like it, but I've had that thing running for 5 years and haven't had a problem with it.
The other ones are quite.
No,
Coral Life?
Coral Life.
I didn't like them. I just said that they don't have the dwell time that the actual Emperor Aquatics does. But no, that I've had people with smaller tanks have good luck with them. But for the size of my tank, I got the Emperor Aquatics, and I'm going to hook it up probably eventually in the next couple of months. But I don't have anything on there right now.
Well, you got to change them bulbs every year too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
They're not cheap either, depending on how much you use the UV. But I think, Scott, you've got your ick outbreak is probably because of, I don't know if you've got stress or maybe it came from a coral. I don't know.
I'm pretty confident that it was introduced on a piece of coral, and then obviously the stress of everything that I was doing didn't help. But the main problem was that it was introduced on a piece of coral is what I'm thinking. Because I was putting a lot in the tank when that happened.
Yeah, but I can understand.
I mean, the fish were quarantined, the fish were treated in copper. I can't imagine it came from the fish.
No, I doubt it very seriously. I think, just like with me, when I reached out to Steve when I first started and I had that marine velvet, I came from those snails. So, I know you get some stress in your tank, but man, those fish could do laps in my tank. It's an 8-foot tank. So.
But one thing that I would like to point out, and I was trying to make this point earlier, is there's a huge difference between ick and marine velvet.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people who say they don't need to quarantine have never experienced marine velvet.
Well, marine velvet's probably like AIDS, and ick is like a cold.
Exactly. Well, no, that's a pretty good comparison because ick, your fish have a chance of living through it. It's not the end of the world. You can battle it. You have time to figure out what's going on. Marine velvet stuff just starts dying.
Yeah.
When I reached out to Steve, I was like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" And I sent him some pictures and he got some close-up shots, and it looked like, I said on my video that it looked like my fish had been dipped in powdered sugar. And then Steve said, "Man, I think you've got marine velvet." And sure enough, it was right, because your fish, like Ed was saying, man, it gets them and they start laboring and breathing, and next thing you know, they're gone.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I had marine velvet in my 75. I didn't even have a chance to, have a chance. You have hours. I mean, I didn't know, and I was literally putting a fish in. It would die, and I'd come home from work and I would ask the question I didn't want to ask: who died today? And my wife was like, 2 of them. So I'd go to the store and I would get another fish to replace, dead by morning. I'd get another fish to replace, dead by that afternoon. I bought a lawnmower blenny to replace my comb tooth blenny, dead within half a day.
What causes marine velvet? Is it stress like ick?
No, it's
ick and marine velvet are parasites.
Yeah.
Stress will help them get it. It is not the cause.
Now, is marine velvet like an anaerobic parasite? Is it because it can live in clean water, so that's why it's highly anaerobic, or what brings it on? What onsets it?
It's just present in the water, just like ick is. Ick is a parasite. Marine velvet is a parasite, but they actually compare the marine velvet to more of a
viral,
like an evil type algae. It's not so much parasitic, but it is. It's hard to explain. I'll get you the notes on it, but yes, like Scott said, stress doesn't bring it about. I know what brought mine on there was the snails, and that's right. Now that's good, and people say, well, inverts can't get it. That's true, but it's maybe the little drop of water that was inside the snail's shell.
I think it was in the water column. It was in the bag because they were in the water.
Right.
Some of that water got in my tank, and so.
It only takes one drop,
I know. Yeah, one drop and a lot of anguish.
So if you reached in and you pulled the shrimp out of the bag, and you put the shrimp inside your tank, it just doesn't matter. The shrimp was still in the water from the bag, and you just put it in your display tank. And you're careful, because some people have said, well, I don't let the bag touch my main tank. That's fine, but the creature is still being taken out of the water and being put in your water, so there's some water residue on that snail, and that's where it comes from. It's not stress-induced or anything like that.
You're right. I just kept a little 29-gallon. I've got a 29-gallon, and I just put them in there. So, it's big enough to put some corals in there, or snails or inverts, and keep them in there for about 3 weeks. And I got an LED light for it.
So, like, here's a good example. This is going to be silly, but this coffee has no ick in it because I didn't allow any ick in the coffee cup. I didn't put any shrimp in here. I'm drinking.
Man, what are you drinking coffee at 11:06 p.m. for?
I'll go right to bed.
Is it vodka?
No, this is like my 8th cup today.
The Bailey's coffee?
Bailey's ice cream.
No, but I have to pick up some tomorrow. Thanks for reminding me.
I drink. Hey, man. Hey, I live in the coffee mecca of the world. Hello.
Seattle.
That's right.
Yeah.
I live about 35 miles south of Seattle. Ed, where are you at?
I'm in Bonita Springs, Florida.
Oh, Florida? Okay. I was in Key West in November, first time. I don't
have to worry about a heater in Florida.
Yeah, I know. You just got to worry about poisonous snakes and gators.
That's true.
But no, it's over here. People say that Seattle it does rain a lot. Yes, it does. But in the springs and summers, that's why they call it the Evergreen State. I mean, right now it was 85 degrees today, and we're just in May. So it's it runs anywhere from the 70s to 80s. Then sometimes in the summer it gets into the mid 90s. But east of the mountains, near Spokane, it's hot. I mean, it's hot and it's cold.
Well, see, I'm originally from Connecticut, so I know blizzards and everything else. But I've been down here 26 years now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm from.
I would never go back. I would never go back to Connecticut if you paid me.
You couldn't pay me to go to Connecticut either, and I'm from Chicago, and we've got it bad, but Connecticut is.
Oh, that guy just destroyed that state, man. Oh my God.
What's that?
The Governor O'Malley, he just destroyed Connecticut.
I'm from upstate New York. That's where I'm from. I've never been to Connecticut before, so.
Upstate New York. I mean, that ain't far from Connecticut.
I know, from Middletown.
I used to vacation in the Catskills in summertime when I was a kid.
Okay. What brought you down to Florida?
My father retired down here, and back in '89, it was getting pretty bad up in Connecticut, and I was in printing, and it kind of went out the window, and so I followed him down here.
Yeah.
And been here ever since. Like he got his wish. I never went back.
Yeah, let me ask you guys a question off the board here, since you guys are married. I don't know about you, Ed or Jason.
I'm married, 2 kids.
What do your spouses think of your fish, your tanks, your setup, your hobby, your passion?
She hates it.
My spouse thinks.
Well, I know it's.
My spouse thinks I need to get off the computer right now and go put her stand together.
Well, you're lucky,
I'm not joking. She got her 24-gallon in. I've been on this computer way too long. I need to go put that stand together.
My wife loves to look at the tank, but she hates to see me work on it and spend money on it. And
my girlfriend.
Oh, you got a girlfriend?
Yeah, she likes the fish, but she doesn't like what I have to do to it, and she says it takes too much time. And
maybe that's because she's just your girlfriend still. If she was married, you wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
my wife loves the end result. She hates all the work it takes to get there.
I think my wife is the same way.
It's funny because my wife started to. She decorated one of the bathrooms in Fish now.
Nice.
Is your wife?
I says, "Are you feeling all right, honey? Are you all right? You like fish now?"
Is your wife on board with your fish, Steve?
Yeah, pretty much what Jason said. She likes looking at them. She loves the look of the tank. She said we need more coral in there, so she was helping me with the JBJ45 because I got one of those ammonia badge alerts from Seacham, which are awesome. No more ammonia testing. And she would check it once or twice a day and text me and let me know what the alert was. So she kind of helps out. She buys all the bok choy for the fish and all that.
That's nice.
But she doesn't say it, but she knows that it's a lot of work. But she knows I enjoy it, so she doesn't say anything. You know, she likes it, but like Jason said, it's a lot of work, and she does not like when I spend the money on it.
I think they don't understand how much passion we have for it.
Can your wife hear you, Jason? Is she gonna hit you with a beer bottle?
As men, we try and kind of hide it. I don't really care about that much.
You know, I think
really do.
I think with mine, it's something I told her. It takes maintenance. You know, like Steve was saying in one of your videos, you have to do daily maintenance, whether it's looking at the fish, checking your collection cup, just little things you need to do, and it takes a little bit of time. You know, I try to minimize it doing my water changes, you know, on either a Saturday or a Sunday morning, but when I converted over from freshwater to saltwater, you know, man, it was hell.
And it can be a slippery slope real fast. Like, you know, if your tanks are at a stable position where they're going all right, that's great. But if you neglect it a little bit, or just, you know, God forbid, you know, just something just happens because it's nature or something just happens, you're going to spend a lot of time, possibly hours, trying to rectify it. And that's not cool. And then it's times like that. Luckily, it hasn't happened to me in a long while, but when it does, especially those moments, it's like, man, all the extra free time, if you will, that I had on my hands. Then you get a saltwater aquarium. I should be watching TV or playing guitar. This is.
I mean, you guys have been in the hobby way longer than I have, but just something about the fish and the, you know, I'm new to the corals now, but that's another endeavor. That's why I got the 180. But just watching the fish, watch how they interact with you, watch how they feed, watch them scavenge, watch them, just the different personalities. Like my orange shoulder tank, he'll go like this vertically, and he'll go up, and he'll try to grab some of the when the overflow's coming out, he'll try to grab some of the bubbles. He's funny.
Yeah.
You know, each fish has their own personality.
Yeah, I'm more into coral than the fish. And the fish,
well, guys,
beautiful. I love them. Don't get me wrong, but the coral is what really makes this hobby.
I agree. I mean, you know, but
well, guys, I hate to do it, but I gotta bail because I really do have to put that stand together, or I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Have a couple more beers, Scott, then do it.
Well, no, I'll have beer while I put the stand together. But I have to put the stand together. This ran way longer than she was expecting, so.
Okay.
They always do.
So it was a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody coming on. These are a lot of fun. I'm kind of glad the way it worked out.
To me, this is my first live chat I've been on, you know, but I've learned from just different guys and how you do things, and, you know, from Ed and Jason, and, you know, everybody's got a different way of doing things. We all have the same common denominator, but, I mean, your guys' tanks look really nice, and, you know, it's just, you can tell the proof's in the pudding by your, you know, your tanks, so.
There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one thing I remember, you know, Jason always saying, you know, last time we did this live thing, There's 1,000 ways to get the result. You don't have to follow anyone's rules. You don't have to have the most expensive gear. I'm always experimenting, and that's what my videos are about. You know, just, hey, this is what works for me. Check it out, and if you don't like it, maybe at least it gives you an idea of something you can try on your own. You know, so there's no right or wrong way.
No?
The end result. You know.
Yeah.
But we'll do this again sooner than before. It's been 2 months.
Yeah.
It's the last one. I have to go too because I have to get up in 5 hours. I got to go to work.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah.
This video will be published, and we'll do it again. And we'll, now that we've got a group set up, it'll be easy. We'll let you guys know more advanced notice through email, like we did, and it'll work out well, I think.
Yeah, it was fun. I like this.
Yeah, we'll get some more people on. If you guys are interested, you want to be, we'll add like 1 or 2 extra people so it doesn't get too cluttered. Those of you guys watching this, be it live or recorded, you want to be on it, just visit our channel, Reef Talk, and drop us an instant message, and let us know. We'll go from there.
Thanks for the links.
Include your email.
Yeah.
We have to have an email to get you on the show. So.
Right. Include your email in the IM.
It's always
All right, guys.
fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for showing up. I'm glad you got in there, man, and Aaron and Ed and CJ. That dude took off before I got back on. So.
And if you haven't checked out Darren or Ed's YouTube channel, check those out. Darren's is Northwest Marine. Ed's is Ed's Fish Tank Extreme. They're both great channels to watch.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, mine's
Thanks again, guys.
NW62. Northwest Marine 6.
Peace.
Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Take
All
care.
right.
Bye.
Bye.